Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast from Cannes Lions. I'm here with Michael Nevski from Visa. Michael, pleasure to be with you today. Really appreciate you taking some time with me. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. This is my second year being at the festival. On a personal note, I actually originally from St. Petersburg, Russia. I've been in the States for almost 30 years. I love to ski. I love to spend time in Colorado because of that. Actually, my hobby, I love to read a lot, and especially one of my favorite authors, Haruki Murakami.
Okay.
And I read almost all of his books. But it helps me in my work as well. So, because that natural curiosity and learning new things and
Sure.
actually philosophy comes together when you think about, excuse me, the human psyche.
Sure, sure.
So,
Well, and also, not only, you mentioned St. Petersburg, you mentioned Colorado, but you've been teaching me a little bit about Chicago too. So you have great knowledge. Even you knew Bergen County, New Jersey, Passaic County, New Jersey. So even all the way out here in Cannes, I'm learning more about the states from someone. So it's great. So what about on the professional side? If you could start telling everybody that's watching and listening a bit about your professional career right now at Visa. You've had a great professional career. I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, and one thing I want to touch upon is turning data to dollars. You had that in your profile. I absolutely love that. So, tell us a bit about your professional career.
thank you, thank you. So my background is in marketing. That's where I started my career, and I call myself recovering marketer because about 15 years ago I decided to go into the marketing research, and the reason why because it's always interesting what people think versus what people do, and
Sure.
also marketing researcher insights bring that strategic direction, identifying those white spaces for companies and brands and products where companies need to move as their next step, and that's what I'm excited about. But on the professional side, I work in several industries:
Okay.
CPG, syndicated consumer data, wealth management, banking, and now payments.
Mm.
As you mentioned, I work for Visa, but also I work in several capacities. One of them, I was doing shopper marketing consulting when I was with my previous company, like Circana, or I
Mm-hmm.
arrived, the former name. But I also work in research, I work in product, I work in brands. And it helped me to have that cohesive and 360 view and rounded approach
Mm.
in terms of the B2B, B2C, and B2B2C, because you really learning how to understand how brands acting, how consumers acting, and how to connect them together. I've been with Visa for about 4.5 years, and in my capacity, I lead consumer insights function, thought leadership, delivering that added value to our clients. And think of it this way: I work in a pure B2B environment. That
Mm-hmm.
means issuers, banks, merchants, like major retailers and airline companies or the hospitality companies, and also processors like global payment companies, right?
Sure. Sure.
It requires very targeted and personalized approach. On top of that, you mentioned about
Data to dollars.
data to dollars,
Love that.
monetizing the insights.
Yes.
And it's always when you work with your business partners, and I work, again, like I said, in several industries in my career, even in manufacturing, you always focus on how to deliver the value. And insights needs to be actionable, not
Absolutely.
just nice to know, but always follows now what, not only so what, but now what, what's the next step, and
Mm-hmm.
how we can bring those insights into the action for client experience, for marketing, for product, for innovation, so they can actually uh, increase the market penetration, or create additional loyalty for your customers, or retention. B, how they can help the companies to grow, whether it's a market share or bottom line. And see how we can identify new or white spaces or new opportunities for our brands to grow, to thrive. So
Sure.
that's why I always focus on that kind of bringing insights to not only light, but to also create that data value and create the value for consumers as well as brands.
Sure. Well, that's great. And when you talk about that, I can't help but think, when we're here at Insights Lighthouse, one of the things that this is helping the Insights community do is elevate our presence and ensuring that we have a seat at the table, if you will. And I think the best way to do that is to prove that return on investment that Insights gives you. So I love to hear when you're talking about how all of your experiences are coming together. And it seems to me, and please don't let me put words in your mouth, that one of the common threads between all of that is ensuring that you're providing that ROI, if you will, whether it's B2B, B2C, to the business. And it's great to hear the comments that you made in that regard. Um, when we think about being here in Cannes, tell me what are you most looking forward to aside from maybe seeing all the great sites around and such, but at Insights Lighthouse in particular, what are you most looking forward to as you're here for the next couple of
Uh,
days?
Absolutely, that's a great question. This is my second camp, and I always focus on what can I learn, something which gonna enrich my experience, or something I can apply in my work. So, and every time, this is my second time, but every time I get here, and it's always something exciting, new trends, whether it's agentic AI or application of technology or new consumer trends. And you look at your peers, you look at other companies, you look at the media companies or creative, and you're learning new things, and especially being surrounded by community of insights professionals from top world brands, and learning from their experiences, understanding their challenges and what they're doing, and get the community together and challenge ourselves. That's a very rewarding experience, and that's
Absolutely.
what I'm learning forward for the next 4 days, to learn, to enjoy, to contribute, and to actually look at this beautiful cancer, weather, and so being all together. So it's a very memorable moment actually for me. So yeah, an
That's great.
experience.
Likewise for me. And you actually knew some of the paths to take quite literally here. So this being my first time here to find this great spot that we found. One other thing that I'd like to start closing on, because you mentioned AI, and behaviorally for us, what's very important is understanding how to integrate AI in a way that obviously keeps the human intact too, but helps to accelerate the pace of insights. And I'm curious how are you thinking about AI at your business? How comfortable are your colleagues with leveraging AI? There's various comfort levels. Are you seeing any particular barriers with the uptake, if you will, of AI amongst your colleagues? So, whatever you'd like to touch upon from that, I'd be curious to get your take,
Yeah,
Michael.
absolutely. First, what I want to mention that actually I'm lucky enough working for the company which not only allows me but enables me to use the technology. We have our own version of a chat GPT, and now cloud, and also Copilot, which is integrated in all of the Microsoft applications. But also it creates an opportunity where I see that we can be more efficient as inside professionals and overall in office professional. For example, I can actually utilize the technology to create a straw man for discussion guide when I conduct IDIs, in-depth interviews, or I can actually create a straw man for my quant research, where I can have an initial draft of my survey and then work on it to actually tune in and create a final piece I can use. But also, it's an opportunity to really apply new technology in new ways, where you can create a summaries, when you can identify new trends by interacting with technology. One of the challenges, actually, what I see, it's a habit of really relying on it. That's what we still need to
Mm,
develop, because a
mm,
lots of people kind of try it and say, okay, this is great, but they still try to fall back on what they know best, old ways. So
sure,
where we need to be more looking forward and be more open to technology.
sure.
And I think last year, as you know, in our industry and worldwide, not only in the US, there was a talk that people talk about, oh, technology is going to replace us as researchers. But actually, what I see, that technology is going to make us more efficient,
Mm-hmm.
more effective, and
Mm-hmm.
more productive, and helps us to keep the spot at the table, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
because we can be more actionable for our partners, for marketing, product, or any business partners within an organization, because we can almost start delivering real time insights, pretty much not saying, okay, we're going to conduct some research, we're going to bring you something in 2 months. So this technology in the future will enable us to bring real-time insights when as it's happening right now, or maybe like a few hours delay, and understanding cohesively path to purchase journey, consumers purchase decision making, not only in one channel but across multiple channels,
Yeah.
because technology will bring that to surface, but it's still going to be up to us as humans to really decide which strategic direction I'm going to make, because technology can recommend you best way of action, but in the end of the day, as a pilot, for example, you have a autopilot, but when you're landing the plane, you take it manually, and you finally, based on all the factors, our human computer is still more superior in my opinion, right? So we need to actually land that plane successfully and bring that insight to action successfully for our business partners.
I love that autopilot to manual at the end. That is amazing. I probably will have to steal that from you once or twice. That was an amazing analogy there. And everything you said, I mean, the fact that it can't be a crutch, it really has to serve to enhance when we think about using AI, right? So I, I love everything that you just had to say. As we wrap up here, what are you most looking forward to when being in Cannes on a personal level? Like, is it the food? Is it just walking around and taking in the scenery?
Yeah.
What is it for you? What are you looking forward to is on a personal level?
And of course, when you go to such beautiful places like Cannes, Côte
Yeah,
d'Azur, right? So, or Caribbeans, or any other wonderful places in the world, you enjoy the weather, you enjoy the sun, you enjoy the water. But to me, it's the people.
love
Actually,
it.
meeting people from all different walks of life, from different industries, different companies, and actually interacting with them, learning something new about them, that natural, again, curiosity and understanding. And you have people from all over the world, not only in US. It just happens that I live in US, you live in
Right,
US, but it's great to meet French people, Italians, people from Japan, right? So it's one of the largest gatherings in the world for marketing, advertising, and hopefully soon it's going to be Insights professionals as well. So, and that's another thing I'm looking forward in terms of Cannes in coming next year and year after, that Insight's going to play much bigger role as a part of the festival, so, and contribute more, because again, we actually helping all of those creatives, all of those advertisers to actually be successful, because we identify those insights for them to
that's right.
execute. So, and helping them with that roadmap, how to execute our insights. So uh, happy to be here again, so that's exciting.
Well, to meeting people, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming and joining me today. Thank you so much. And to everybody watching, we'll see you again from Cannes.